Okay, I'll do another YouTube today. It's 12:50 on the 6th of June 2015. I'm going to do a blog entry later on this afternoon called Islamic State is the first terrorist group on cyber war. The internet is part of attacking. The internet is part of warfare. It's propaganda. Islamic State goes through a lot of propaganda, but propaganda really started back in history. But the latest propaganda, which we do recognise, is Joseph Goebbels and Edward Bernays from World War II. Joseph Goebbels was with Hitler in 1933 when Hitler became Chancellor. Joseph Goebbels became his propaganda minister, which got the whole nation of Germany to come against the Jews and to murder Jews. Edward Bernays was with America, and he used propaganda to form Coca-Cola and big companies, but he also used it to help America win the war. Well, propaganda is happening today as well, very much so, but this time it's called cyber war, cyber propaganda, online. And Islamic State uses it very heavily, both to recruit people and to put across false messages, disinformation, so we all can be fooled. This is very, very serious. This is an outcome of war, which was never really thought of before. Because the propaganda today is a lot different than the propaganda back in the 1930s and 40s, or even in the First World War, where they used to drop leaflets out of aeroplanes. It's very effective, very dangerous, and it will change society intensely. I think Agenda 21 will use this to bring in a lot of draconian legislation, such as the internet will be tightened up. I may not be allowed to do this videos unless I can become registered. And if I had to be registered, I would definitely straight away have people say I'm not a fit and proper person because I vilify. Excuse me saying this, bull crap. I do not vilify, I have never vilified. I've been set up and I've been framed through propaganda. The same as happening today through Islamic State. And the internet is actually the tool they use to create that propaganda. So I will never accept it, but I know for a fact I can foresee the internet becoming heavily scrutinised, legislated against, and you will have to be a fit and proper person to do blogs like I'm doing. It will take away our freedom. We need freedoms. We don't need to be tightened up anymore. We need to have a situation where terrorists and criminals get locked up, and that's where they are, locked up, not let free. That's why we need things such as state, local, and I would say also federal prisons, like the USA. Federal prisons for the big wigs and for the terrorists, state prisons for the kickabouts in the streets, and local lockups for the troublemakers, which the police pick up at night for a few hours or a day, and then they go to court the next day. But to get back to what I first heard talking about, propaganda is a massive weapon of war. It's a massive weapon that Islamic State is using. And I'm going to write a blog on this after I've had a sleep this afternoon and let you all see about this. I'll leave it at that, and I'll come back later and say more. Thank you very much. Yours, John.